Hi guys, I am Sir Andrew Javier and welcome to the first episode of EAPP in TAGLISH. Bago natin simulan ang ating unang lesson, let me first give you a brief explanation of what EAPP is. EAPP stands for English for Academic and Professional Purposes. It is an applied subject in the senior high school. In this subject, you will learn how to use English in different activities, be it in schooling or for your job in the future. Ibig sabihin, in this course, matututunan ninyo kung paano ma-maximize ang paggamit ng English sa iba't ibang gawain ninyo, like reading articles or writing essays, sa pag-aaral man o sa pagtatrabaho pagdating ng panahon. For this session, we will discuss language used in academic texts in various disciplines. Titingnan natin kung ano at paano ginagamit ang language, specifically English, sa iba't ibang klase ng academic papers. Before we begin, let us first define some keywords we will meet along the way. First is academic writing. It is a kind of writing that is used in school. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga papers or babasahin na ginagamit natin sa schools like articles, books, journals, even newspapers. Second is the subject, which is the topic of the text. Next is tone. This pertains to the attitude of the author towards the topic or towards the text. Kumbaga, ano bang damdamin ng writer habang dinidiscuss niya yung topic dun sa kanyang paper? Galit ba siya? Masaya ba siya? Nanghihinayang ba siya, or whatsoever. And we will see this through the word choice of the writer. Ano bang mga words ang pinipili niya to discuss the topic? Next is purpose. This is the information that the writer aims to relay to the audience. Ano ba yung layunin ng writer sa pagsulat niya ng text na ito? Kumbaga, ano yung message o ano yung gusto niyang iparating sa mga nagbabasa? Next is language. Language is the words used by the writer in discussing the topic. Since we are dealing with academic texts, the language is expected to be formal. Then we have the audience. It refers to the readers of the text. Sino o sino-sino ba ang expected na magbabasa ng text na ito? Mga teachers ba? Mga estudyante? Mga researchers? O iba pa? Point of view. It is how the writer tells the information. Naka first person point of view ba? Naka second person? Or naka third person? Remember, in academic writing, we always use the third person point of view kasi mas formal siya at mas madali siyang unawain. Next is style. It refers to how a writer arranges his or her writing. Kumbaga, paano ba siya magsulat? Ano ang techniques and strategies na ginagamit niya in explaining the topic? Next is knowledge, which is the amount of information the writer knows about his or her topic. Gaano ba ka-expert or ka-knowledgeable yung writer tungkol dun sa topic niya? The readers can identify this based on the amount of information the writer has given in the paper. Finally, explicit, which means the information should be precise and exact. Meaning, since academic writing ito, dapat the author's language is exact. Walang paligoy-ligoy. Direct to the point. Now, let's begin discussing academic writing. As we have said, academic writing is the kind of writing being used in schools, gaya ng journals, researches, newspapers, essays, and others. Pero bukod sa salitang academic, bakit nga ba academic writing ang ginagamit natin sa school? Dahil ang purposes ng academic writing ay to inform o magbigay ng kaalaman, to persuade o manghikayat, and to argue o manghamon ng iba't ibang pananaw. Academic writing requires formal language. Kaya nung sabi natin kanina sa ganitong klase ng pagsusulat, kailangan ang language ay formal. Bawal ng colloquial or jargon words or mga salitang may specific groups of people lang na nakakaunawa. Bawal din ang paggamit ng mga highfalutin words o mga malalalim na Ingles. Kaya ang gamit ditong language ay nasa layman's term o mga salitang madaling maunawaan ng sino mang magbabasa. And of course, all the information given by the author in the academic writing should be backed up with valid evidences from credible sources. Now, let's talk about the 4 features of language. Kapag sinabi nating features, they mean the prominent characteristics o katangian. So ang 4 na to, ang 4 main characteristics ng language. First is formality. Formality reflects your dignified stance in writing as a member of an academic community. This means that in your writing, you should avoid colloquial words or expressions. Paano ba natin ma-achieve ang formality sa pagsulat? One way is using expanded forms over contracted forms. Meron kasing contracted or shortened versions ng mga salita. Halimbawa, sa Filipino, meron tayong ganon na shortened version ng ganoon. Meron din tayong pag na contracted version ng kapag. Ngayon, sa pagsusulat, upang ma-achieve ang formality sa iyong language, kailangan mong iwasan yung ganitong klase ng contractions at ang gamitin ay ang expanded forms. So instead of using don't, say do not. Imbes na shouldn't, use should not. Another way to achieve formality is to choose one-word verbs over two-word verbs. For example, imbes na gamitin ang salitang mess up, you can just say ruin or damage. Look at the sample sentences with two-word verbs and see the more appropriate verb you can use. Also, to achieve formality, we should avoid using abbreviations. These are like contractions, they are shortened versions of words. For example, do not use the word Tom to mean tomorrow. Write the expanded word tomorrow. Another example is using ASAP. To achieve formality, we should avoid using this and just write the expanded form as soon as possible. Finally, you should avoid using colloquial or idiomatic expressions. Since gusto nating ma-achieve ang formality, hindi tayo maaaring gumamit ng mga salitang balbal or very conversational. Iwasan ang paggamit ng kind of or kinda, sort of or sorta, gonna, or gotta. Instead, humanap ng mas formal na synonyms ng mga salitang ito. The second feature of language is objectivity. It means that the focus of the information is on the topic and not on the writer, him or herself. Ibig sabihin, kapag sumulat ka ng isang academic paper, hindi pwedeng personal lang atake mo sa pagdi-discuss ng topic mo. Paano mo ito magagawa? First, avoid using personal pronouns like I, you, my, or we. Gaya ng sabi ko kanina sa pagsusulat ng academic paper, ang gamit nating point of view ay third person, kaya iwasan ang paggamit ng ganitong klaseng pronouns. Halimbawa, imbis na isulat ang we need to follow instructions, ang dapat gamitin ay the researchers need to follow instructions. Dito, may iwasan natin ang paggamit ng personal pronoun na we at pinalitan natin ito ng third person na the researchers. Second is avoid rhetorical questions because in academic writing, we assume that the readers do not know the answer yet. As I said earlier, one purpose of academic writing is to inform, para magbigay ng kaalaman. Kaya iwasan ang pagtatanong dahil ikaw bilang writer ang may obligasyon na magbigay ng informasyon. Third, avoid emotive language that shows biases. Ano ba yung emotive language? Ito yung mga salitang nagpapakita ng emosyon o damdamin. For example, imbis na sabihin the police investigators were shocked to see the results of the test, ang mas objective na sabihin ay the police investigators did not expect the results. In our second statement, no emotional signal was implied about the police investigators. The third language feature is explicitness. It is the clarity of your writing structure. Ibig sabihin, dapat ang language mo ay clear at eksakto. Gagamit ka ng mga malinaw na conjunctions at iba pang connectors para mapagduktong-duktong ang mga argumento mo sa iyong mga paragraphs nang hindi naliligaw ang iyong readers. Look at this example. Schools hope to provide quality education to learners. Having this COVID-19 pandemic requires a lot of effort to reach out to students. There are two statements here, but the two are contrasting to one another, so you need a clear connector to join these statements together explicitly. Kaya naglagay tayo ng however para magdugtong at mapakita ang koneksyon ng dalawa. Ito pa ang ibang halimbawa ng connectors na pwede mong gamitin. The fourth feature of language is caution. It refers to the careful attention to avoid sweeping generalizations. Ibig sabihin, ito yung pag-iingat mo sa mga sinasabi mong argumento sa iyong academic paper. Bawal ang hasty generalizations o padalos-dalos na panglalahat. Look at this example. Government officials are corrupt. This statement is not completely true. Oo, may mga government official na corrupt, pero hindi lahat. Kaya naman hindi siya safe na statement. We need to use some devices like modal verbs, adverbs, or even other verbs to improve the statement and avoid hasty generalization. Look at these improved versions. Some government officials may be corrupt. Corruption is commonly linked to some key government officials. Once again, the four features of language are formality, objectivity, explicitness, and caution. At this point, let's talk briefly about the types of writing styles. Tandaan, ito yung paraan mo ng pagsusulat. Kumbaga, how do you explain a topic? Are you telling a story? Are you describing it? Are you providing factual information to explain it? Or are you trying to convince your readers to stand with you about an argument about that topic? Meron tayong four main writing styles. Ito ay ang narrative, expository, descriptive, at persuasive. Pwede kang gumamit ng isa o kombinasyon ng mga ito to explain your topic in your paper. Simulan natin sa para sa akin ay pinakamadali, ang narrative writing. Simply, it is a writing style in which an author tells a story, be it fictional or non-fictional. Ibig sabihin, magkikwento ka lang. Totoo man o kathang isip, magkikwento ka lamang ng kahit anong related or relevant sa topic mo. Again, that's the narrative writing. The second is the expository writing. From the root word expose, this style means you expose the topic by providing facts to explain it. Kaya, nangangailangan ng expository writing ng masusing pag-research at iniiwasan ang pagbibigay ng biased information para may paliwanag ang topic. Pangatlo ay ang descriptive writing. From the root word describe, ang ginagawa sa ganitong style ng writing ay ang pagbibigay ng mga katangian ng topic, panlabas man o panloob. Mas effective ito kung gagamitan ng sensory images o mga salitang nagde-describe na may effect sa 5 senses natin, ang sense of sight, smell, hearing, taste, and touch. Ang ika-4 ay ang persuasive writing o tinatawag ding argumentative writing. This writing style is used when you want to give an opinion about a topic and you try to make your readers agree with you, kaya kailangan din ng persuasive writing ng matinding research. Siyempre, mas magiging convincing ang arguments mo kung makakapagbigay ka ng valid evidences from credible o mapagkakatiwalaang sources. Once again, the 4 writing styles are narrative, descriptive, expository, and persuasive. And that's it. That's our first lesson for this quarter. Please make sure to subscribe to our channel so you would be updated of our every upload. Once again, I am Sir NJ Javier and this is EAPP in TAGLISH.